everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna have Scout from Fable pick my next read. So I'm currently using Fable to track all of my books. I like it better than Goodreads because it's a lot more user-friendly and easy to use and looks nicer and has the DNF option. And that's actually what did it for me, the DNF option. Perfect, because I don't DNF like a lot of books, but I do DNF some and I don't want to rate them if I haven't finished them. Anyways, Fable has this little bird called Scout and you can ask him to pick books from your TBR. And I'm gonna do that today and probably for the rest of the week. The only rules are I have to have the physical book and it can't be over 600 pages because I can't do that right now. But yeah, we're gonna ask Scout to pick the next book. I'm gonna start screen recording and here we go. You just click pick for me, and as I mentioned, the rules are I just have to own it basically. And he's gonna go through my whole TBR. Oh, that looks so fun. The Call of the Sea. I don't own that book. Next, oh, I can actually do it next pick. Dead of Winter. I also don't own that book. Oh man. Okay, last pick. Hopefully this one's a good one. The Stolen Heir. Huh. That's actually a good pick. I'm gonna really actually pick that book because I've read the Cruel Prince trilogy and then I got the kind of picture, what's it called? How the King of Elfheim learned to tell stories or something like that. And then I also got the Stolen Heir and the Prisoner's Throne. So that's great. I'm gonna start that book next. I just got it off of the TBR shelf. It's actually quite a short book, which is great. We might actually read this whole duology in this vlog because it's just the Stolen Heir and the Prisoner's Throne. The other one is kind of like a picture book. But yeah, let's get reading. I just watched a quick recap of the Folk of the Air trilogy. Apparently there's 11 books in the Folk of Air universe and I am on book 4. The other ones that I've seen is The Lost Sisters, and I think there's also like a trilogy or duology in that, but I'm not sure if I want to read that too. But yeah, we're reading The Stolen Heir today. I think this book is actually a great pick because I've been reading kind of very dark books recently and I need something to take my mind off of crime and horror and horrible things. So I think this is perfect. On the back it says what's inside: beauty, betrayal and desire. This book is about Oak, the little brother, I think, or half brother of, oh man, that summary wasn't very good, I guess, of one of the sisters from the previous trilogy. And back then he was a little boy and now he's 17. He's charming, beautiful and manipulative. And there's also two other main characters, the Lady Nor of the Court of Teeth and Soren, Child Queen of the Court of Teeth. So I guess I don't really know what's gonna happen, but if I remember correctly there's a lot of political things happening in the previous trilogy with all of the courts, and then I think their father was kind of not a very good person to them and also to basically everybody else. So it's gonna be an interesting book. It's been a while since I've read that trilogy, but oh great, there's a map. It looks really cool. That illustration is awesome. I love that. Okay, it's starting with just like the book before with a little poem and then we get straight into the book. So we're gonna start reading right now. I'm kind of excited to dive into a little fantasy world because it's little because the books are short, because like Throne of Glass, the books are huge, and like 3 or 4 of those books are Kingdom of Ash, which is great because I just want to read a quick short little fantasy book to take my mind off of the horror books that I've read, as I mentioned. So yeah, let's get started. I already highlighted 2 lines. I forgot how much I loved Holly Black's writing style. It's so fairy tale-esque and whimsical but also so dark. The first one is, by the time she was 8, she could lift bags of groceries that her adoptive mother struggled with. By the time she was 9, she was gone. And then this one just made me smile. The one woman says to Ren, "Have you never dreamed of someone coming to you and telling you that you were no mortal child but one made of magic? Have you never dreamed about being taken from your pathetic little life to one of vast greatness?" It starts out so cute, but then it always turns so dark. But yeah, prologue, perfect. I am very excited to get into this book. Good morning. I just made myself some chai because the weather is giving fall today. It's too early, I don't know words. It's cloudy and windy and I think it's gonna rain, which is perfect for today because that's exactly my mood. I love having my favorite little sweater on and drinking. It's actually iced, but the ice cubes melted immediately, but it's cold now. Anyways, so I got 100 pages into the Stolen Heir yesterday. I think yesterday I described the writing style as fairy tale-esque. I think a better word would be eerie and dark because it is quite dark, and the way she describes, I mean, I already know what the characters and the fairies whatever look like. They're not beautiful, like I could tell like, oh, they're all so big and strong. No, they're like green and blue and purple and kind of see-through, and they have Oak, for example, he's like a satyr kind of. He has like little horns and then goat legs, that's what it is. And Ren has like super sharp teeth, and she's like, oh, I think I would be beautiful if I just would never smile, basically. And she has like these deep moss green eyes. I kind of really want this to be made into a movie or a series or whatever, just so I can see if I envision all of them right, because I don't imagine them as beautiful. I think they all look very eerie and a little freaky, and Ren is often described as a monster and people are like, humans are scared of her. And I think the way the author brings across that feeling of being a little scared of the characters basically, and them just being a little weird, but like horrifically weird, it's just perfect. I really love her writing style. But yeah, I think eerie is a better word than fairy tale-esque, because that would be a pretty dark fairy tale. But yeah, my goal is to read to page 200 today, which would put me over halfway. I don't really want to speed through this because I'm enjoying the writing so much. I just want to read like a little bit every day, even though 100 pages isn't like a little bit, but you know what I mean. So I think I'm gonna take like 3 to 4 days to read this book, even though it's a little bit short. But I just like being in this book, and also the pages are filled and the font is kind of small, so I think that's okay. I think I base my reading speed off of romance books because I don't really know why but those are just so much quicker to read because one, the font is usually pretty big, two, there's always so much white space around the text, and then the stuff they're talking about, for example, if there's like a conversation and it's like blah 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 he said, blah 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 she answered, I don't read the he said she answered stuff because I just need to like know what's going on. I don't need all of the details, so I don't know if I'm actually that quick of a reader. I definitely am in romance just because I kind of skip a lot of the not so useful things. I mean, I'm hoping that they're not useful because I don't read them as much. Anyways, in this book I'm not doing this. I'm reading every single sentence, every single word. I'm not skipping anything because every single word is just exquisite. Okay, but enough rambling, let's read this book. See, the first sentence of chapter 6. A knock on the door announces a knight with the hair the color of rotten vegetation and eyes like onyx, who introduces herself as Lupin. The Queen of Moth awaits you. Perfect. I want to meet the Queen of Moth. How does she look like? Horrible? Disgusting? Probably. Good morning, everybody. Today we have a hot chai latte with cinnamon sprinkle on top. You can't see, but it smells divine. And then book update. I am on page 210, I think, of The Stolen Heir. I really like it, and today it's super gloomy, so I'm gonna sit inside today and put on a little ambience. I don't think I've ever read this series with an ambience, so I'm very excited to see what comes up. And then I started reading another book, that AI fable bird. What was he called? I don't remember. That he didn't pick for me, but I needed something to do with my hands because you might have noticed I did my nails in this very bright, very red color that I don't like. But I spent an hour-ish doing them, so I'm gonna keep them for at least a week. But, oh, it looks even worse with this book. I started listening to Carrie Soto is Back. This is the only Taylor Jenkins Reid book I haven't read yet. And it's about tennis. And lately, I've been really into playing tennis with, like, my boyfriend, my sister, my dad, one of my friends. We just go play tennis. Not all the time, but, like, I would say I go, like, at least once a month. Probably every 2 weeks. I have a tennis skirt, I have a great tennis racket, I learned how to wrap, like do the grip thingy. I bought new like shiny, fresh, bright yellow tennis balls. I lost one of them already because I hit the ball too hard and it flew into the bushes and I couldn't find it anymore. But I actually don't know anything about tennis except for when you hit the ball you're supposed to like swing the racket all the way around, and I'm still struggling with that, so I'm no way near like a good tennis player. I didn't even know what anything meant until I started this book. Now I know that 30 love means one of the players has 2 points and the other has 0. So it's really interesting, and I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing style and her stories and how she constructs these like so real characters. Like you can feel that they actually exist somewhere out there, I feel like. And she always connects the books. In this book, her Carrie's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, on and off, tennis trading partner is in one of the other books, which is Malibu Rising, I believe, because Brandon, is dating Carrie, but he was dating Nina Riva before, and that's one of the siblings from Malibu Rising, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I read Malibu Rising, but I think that's how it went. But I just love her universe of unique, awesome characters. I also love Daisy Jones and the Six. I thought for the longest time I don't want to read that book because it's about a real band and I don't want to read a biography about a band, but they're not real, but they're real to me. And then when I read Daisy Jones and the Six, I looked up Daisy Jones and the Six on Spotify looking for like the audiobook or like an ambience, like a playlist or something, and then Daisy Jones and the Six is a band on Spotify because they recorded songs. They have a few songs that I actually regularly listen to because I love them so much, and also the show for Daisy Jones and the Six is so good. Daisy Jones and the Six must be one of my favorite books of all time. It's just perfect. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so good. I don't know if that was just like a TikTok thing and people wanted it or if it's actually real, but I think that's gonna be made into a movie. That would be amazing because I'm not one to read books twice, but those books I would read twice, 3 times, who knows, because I just feel so connected and the characters are just so real to me. Like they are real people. Carrie exists, Evelyn exists somewhere, Celia St. James, absolutely a real person. Everybody from Daisy Jones and the Six, they live somewhere, they have a house. And so long story short, I picked up this book because I needed something to do while doing my nails, to listen to while doing my nails. And we're gonna probably continue this on audio and then read physically The Stolen Heir, and then I'll see if I get to the Prisoner's Throne, because I don't wanna, as I mentioned yesterday, I don't wanna rush through this book because I'm enjoying it so much and the writing is so beautiful. Both of these, I just love the writing so much, and I think I've now come to realize that I don't need to buy every single book talk book, like Fourth Wing or Powerless come to mind, that are just kind of, obviously it's totally fine to like those books. I just found for myself that I prefer books with kind of a more unique writing style. I'm just looking at my bookshelf thinking like what books I enjoyed most, but there's, for example, like obviously Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing is more emotional and not so much eerie and fairy tale-esque. The Stolen Heir and like Neil Gaiman, Anathema, Carrie Lake books, they're also very, it's just a very unique writing style, and I think I prefer that over just basic books that have a nice plot. On the other hand, I also really enjoy cowboy romances, and obviously, I mean, no, Lila Sage's writing is also beautiful. What I'm seeing from my bookshelf, Elsie Silver, for example, I didn't enjoy as much just because it's more just regular writing. Obviously, I still like the books, but they're not gonna be my favorite of all time. So I think I need to kind of branch out more and pick books with a more unique writing style. But it's hard to find those books because I get intimidated and I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like that because it's too like literary or it sounds a little weird. But one of those books that I thought sounded very literary and weird and like it would be a hard read was Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and I love that book so much. It's by Brandon Sanderson and it's part of his Cosmere universe. I don't really know, but that was amazing. The story was like nothing I've ever read before. The writing was amazing. The description of how everything looked, it was such a different fantasy world, and then the emotional level to it. I love Yumi and Painter. They are one of my favorite characters, but I have so many, but they're on that list too. Yeah, I think I just love slightly unique writing styles. But then on the other hand, I don't want to limit myself though, because I also enjoy like Percy Jackson and thrillers, and those usually are like basic writing, but I enjoy like how fun and fast it is, or in thrillers how you get to activate your brain and then think about who did it and maybe figure it out before you're supposed to, and that's also fun. So I guess I like all books is what I'm saying. Anyways, enough rambling. I'm gonna look for an ambience now for the Storm Heir. Today I might finish this today because I only have like 150 pages left, and that's not so much because yesterday I got through the 100 pages kind of quick. I don't want to talk about the plot too much because I think that that would be a spoiler. Everything about this book is a spoiler pretty much for the other series, the other three, Queen of Nothing. Those books, I'll put them up. So definitely read those before and then get into this. It's not mentioned like very obviously what happens, but you definitely need the background information from those books to understand what's going on here and who Oak is, and well, not who Ren is, but who her parents are, how their like family situation and their political situation is. So definitely read those first. I love Ren. She seems so, she kind of describes herself as a wild animal, but I don't think that's the case. Obviously she's been taken from her childhood home at a very young age, and then she's just been living by herself for all these years. So there has to be like some animal instinct kicking in, because otherwise how to survive. But I think she's such an interesting character because even though she's been done wrong so many times by people that should care about her, she's still like kind and somewhat trusting, and I think that's admirable because I don't think I would do anything for anybody if people treated me like she was treated. And then I just found out about her origin story, I want to say, like how her parents came to have her. That's all I'm gonna say, and that was heartbreaking but also so interesting because how did Holly Black come up with that? That's so cool. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, and we still haven't seen too much from Oak. He's kind of mysterious on the sidelines, and I don't really know his agenda yet. I'm not sure if he's trustworthy or not, but I guess we'll find out soon because we're 2/3 through the book, so it won't be long. Okay, let's look for an ambience. This is Enchanted Forest Music and Ambience, and I picked it because it's dark. Because, and I think that's also interesting, in this book they are awake at night and they sleep when it's light outside. So this makes the most sense because whenever they wander around it would be dark. Finished both of my books earlier today, and since I just got back from playing tennis, we're gonna start with Carrie Soto is Back. 5 stars. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing style. Yes, it was such an inspiring book. I loved, and I think that was just perfection. It was so fun to actually read about tennis, and I think it says something about how good an author writes if Taylor Jenkins Reid can make writing about a tennis match, like ball going back and forth, interesting. I was hooked. I love this so much, and unfortunately I am now done with all of these types of books from Taylor Jenkins Reid. I only have Forever Interrupted, which is a like normal romance book, I think, and then I've pretty much read all of her books, I believe. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and today we actually played some matches on the court, and I felt like Carrie Soto herself. I suck at tennis, I'm pretty bad, but I did win like 2 games, and I was like, 30, love, I am amazing, basically. But yeah, great book. And then we have The Stolen Heir. I'm gonna give this book 4.5 stars. As I mentioned 1,000 times before, I love the writing. I love how dark and eerie and unique it is. I love the story. The end was so good. The like last little paragraph on the last page, love that so much. And I really love this. I cannot wait to start The Prisoner's Throne, I believe. Oh, that title makes sense now. But yeah, we had two great books. This one was the one that was picked by Scout, Fable's AI bird, and this one I just picked myself because tennis. And that's it for this week's reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you very soon in the next one.